I am a mom of 6. I am a business owner and an advocate. I do balloons and event decor. It is a huge passion of mine. It's my way of bringing joy to people and like celebrations. I didn't always have that joy, right? And so I feel like it was like my outlet to bring it to others.
Sitting in front of a wispy wall of pink, in a room filled with the untapped promise of even more color, Nikki knows more than most. There's always a story bursting behind every half smile.
So, my journey is rough. I had an extremely traumatic childhood.
In adulthood, she says she's dealt with more trauma, including, she says, suspicions she's been stalked and had her devices hacked. She's reported her issues to police and believes she's sometimes been the target of a hired private investigator.
If you have resources, if you have the money to buy or hire an investigator or to buy my data, I feel like, you know, there's like a price tag on my safety, and that is devastating.
Depending on where you live, we've discovered private investigators, government agencies, car insurance companies, police, towing companies, auto dealers, and data brokers could have access to your personal information through the Department of Motor Vehicles. Your name, address, phone number, driver identification, all information you must give your state to get a driver's license or register a vehicle has been sold for millions all across this country over the last 5 years.
It's actually allowed because of a law with privacy in the name, the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, or DPPA. The federal law was passed in 1994 after the murder of actress Rebecca Schaeffer. She was shot and killed at her front door by an obsessed fan who got her address from a private investigator's use of California motor vehicle records.
This law has been around for a long time now.
James Lee is the president of the Identity Theft Resource Center, a national nonprofit that helps people protect their data. He says the law doesn't keep your data from being available, it just keeps it from being publicly available.
There are reasons that you can get the information, and there are organizations that have access to the information. And in every case, states sell that information.
While the act was intended to limit access to this data, it contains 14 exemptions, including allowing sales, ironically, to private investigators, employers for background screenings, and companies for debt collection or insurance. And depending on where you live, what is sold can also vary. Lee says the law was originally designed to protect our Social Security number, which is kept private in some states.
That's not what we should be worrying about anymore. Your Social Security number's out there, sorry to tell you, but that's not what the bad guys really want. But your driver's license, now that's valuable to them.
We contacted the DMVs from all 50 states to find out how much money they make from these records. We also asked if you could opt out, who can buy this information, and what each state does with the money. As of early October, 35 states gave us hundreds of documents to sift through, some revealing for the very first time just how much money they are collecting from providing driving information to companies.
In fiscal year 2024, these 23 states collected a total of at least $282 million. Of the states that gave us records, Georgia took in the most money, more than $53 million last year, followed by California's $49 million. Indiana collected $25 million. Ohio, $20 million. Some states wouldn't tell us how much money changes hands without charging us money. Michigan said it would cost more than $81,000 to find out how much money it collects from dealing data. New York tried to charge us nearly $2,000. And Virginia told us it doesn't have any records of how much money it collects, and figuring that out would cost us up to $1,000. Many of the DMVs contend they don't sell information. They say they're allowed under the DPPA to charge a fee to cover the cost of maintaining the records. But those fees vary greatly from state to state. Some charge data buyers $5 to $10. Some states have contracts with large companies and charge thousands to pull hundreds of reports all at once. Rich Robertson is one of the people who gets access to those driving records.
I, as a private investigator, have access to this information. I am subject to audit. The motor vehicles office can come in at any time and ask me why I ran that particular search. I have to have insurance. I have a contract with MVD that's that thick.
He's been a private investigator in Arizona for 25 years now. Before that, he was a journalist, and he remembers what it was like before the DPPA was passed.
Back 30, 40 years ago, anybody could walk into the MVD and get a copy of somebody's driver's license.
He says the federal law is working and that Arizona also has its own strict privacy rules. He says the state could audit him or pull his license if he abused the system. He uses DMV databases to get names, addresses, dates of birth, and driving records so he can help in prosecutions, work with victims, and protect children.
Just recently, I got a guy exonerated from a criminal charge because I was able to access motor vehicle records out of Illinois.
Robertson says people don't want their personal information out there, but at the same time, they're demanding more safety.
They want their handyman who comes to their house. They want their babysitter. They want their child care center. They want their Little League coach. They want all these people backgrounded to make sure that their children are safe. Backgrounding means digging into your private information.
Crystal Justice is a consultant at the National Domestic Violence Hotline. She's seen firsthand what can happen when data is misused in this high-tech world.
When technology is created, it can be created for good, it can be created to make our lives easier, but it can be misused by abusive partners to control, to harass, to cause harm to their victims. We call that digital abuse.
She says victims and survivors already go through painstaking efforts to make sure their private information is not shared.
We challenge companies, agencies, or organizations to think, what data are we collecting? Is this necessary? How are we sharing it? How are we selling it?
DPPA came into being at a time when we were talking about somebody walking up to a DMV office and requesting a piece of paper that had driver's information on it. Whereas now it's available instantly online from any place in the world.
Lee says despite the DPPA, privacy laws from state to state are so different, it's hard to ensure the large organizations gobbling up data are following all the rules. Under the federal law, companies are not supposed to sell the data for marketing purposes, but some consumers claim it's happened in the past. LexisNexis, which we found is the leading buyer of data in nearly every state we looked at, settled a class action lawsuit in 2021 for $5.13 million. The suit alleges LexisNexis illegally sold driver information from DMV crash reports to law firms for marketing. We also found Carfax spent millions last year buying data from DMVs. A proposed class action lawsuit filed in February claims Carfax unlawfully sold accident reports to third parties. Carfax is asking the suit to be dismissed, saying it never disclosed information from a motor vehicle record and that the DPPA doesn't limit access to crash reports.
It's really not fair for where you live to determine the rights you have. We need to have a uniform national law.
Only 3 states told us you can actually opt out from having your information shared, and only in certain situations: Delaware, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
So we're not allowed to opt out. I'm not surprised.
For people like Nikki from Texas, the idea any personal information can be sold is more than unsettling.
I think that's something that we as victims or we as people should be able to have some control over.
She says it's a public safety issue, not a place to make money.